One thing I've learned as a professional interviewer is that it's good to be able to relate to people when they have faced adversity. So, Anya Poole from women's basketball, I've got some great news from you. I, too, am the same height I was in 6th grade. Just like you. We're basically the same, Anya.
Absolutely, yes.
Thanks so much for being here. Anya plays in the post. James, what about you?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I was sitting here and I started smiling when we started the interview because we got some notes on Anya before she got here. And in that, it said your nickname is Lasagna.
It is. Right?
And so the whole time I was like, Lasagna, what an odd nickname. But it just hit me like right when we started, like Anya Lasagna. It makes total sense.
Yep.
All right, now that we've gotten that out of the way, I'm taller than I was in 6th grade, but thankfully Anya's a better basketball player than Adam and me combined. Of course, a member of Carolina women's basketball. We are right on the cusp of the Tar Heel season. Anya, tell us a little bit about what's been going on over the last couple of weeks as you guys have been preparing for the year.
Yeah, you know, it's been pretty good so far. I mean, we've just been putting in a lot of work. Putting in a lot of plays, just getting ready to play these games and to play how we know how to play. Trying to win some games, trying to get to this tournament.
A lot of personnel on this year's team is going to look familiar to Carolina fans who got to know y'all last year during a very successful season. Where have you seen this team get better? Where do you expect more than last year?
I think this team has gotten a lot better with the connection part. We were very, very connected last year, I can say that. And you know, some teams, they have their ups and downs, but it's the way that you fight through that and figure out how to fix that. And I think that because we are such a veteran team this year, we got a lot of, this team is very young, this team is very young last year, and we don't have that this year. We have a lot of people who were here last year, went to the tournament, you know, so I just think that helps us a lot because when we get in the situation where we face adversity, we know how to handle that. And I can say it's a lot of talent. Everybody wants to get better. So, I mean, something to look forward to.
What allows a team to find that connection and that togetherness? Because I don't think it happens for every single group.
I think it's just the will to want it. A lot of us are like, well, if we don't get along off the court, if we don't get along on the court in practice, it won't work during the games because that's when the adversity really hits you because you're playing against somebody else who doesn't really care who you are, they just want to beat you. So, you know, we're all just like, well, we're in this together. We fight with from 1 through 12, and from 1 through 12, we have each other's back, and that's how we kind of push along through this journey.
What about you personally? Where do you feel like you've made improvement over last year? Where are we going to see a different Anya Poole this year?
Oh, man. Coach Banghart harps on this a lot. I can say just my physicality. I'm running the floor a lot better. She's been, getting in me about that one. I had a couple spurts last year, but I think this year I've kind of harped on, trying to get up and down the court a little bit faster. And just my outside game, I mean, I'm shooting more. I'm more comfortable shooting the 17-foot jumper. I mean, that's about it.
How difficult is it to get used to the physicality, especially of the college game? I'm going to guess that was something new and different.
Yeah. Well, when I was in high school, it was pretty aggressive. I went to Southeast, so my coach was very like, So we were all like, oh, okay, well, we have to get on the same page as you. So she always taught me to just, meet the challenge with the challenge. So I even spoke to my mom. I was like, hey, if you're going to come at me with physicality, I'm going to bring even more physicality to the plate. So, I mean, coming to college, it was just a mindset that I already had. And even though it was harder than high school, it was just like something that I already knew how to work through because I'm never going to let somebody beat me in anything. So I'm just like, okay, you want to fight with me, I'll fight with you back.
Where did that competitiveness come from? Is that always been there?
It's always been there, especially on the court. Like my mom always says, like, oh, you'll think Anya's the meanest person when she's on the court, but when she's off of it, you think she's a totally different person. I'm just like, when I'm on the court, I'm very locked in. Like I said, I'll never let somebody just beat me and say that they can beat me. Like you can never say that without saying that I put up a fight. Well,
I thought Anya was about to fight me right now. Like she was getting locked in right here.
No.
That is why we did not want to do this interview on court because we knew we couldn't handle that. Anya, the Tar Heels might have snuck up on some people last year, especially maybe at the end of the year, but that is not going to happen this year, preseason number 12 in the country.
Right.
What's the difference in mindset required when every team's going to want to beat a team that's close or in the top 10?
I think just knowing that every team wants to beat a team like that. Coach Banghart says all the time, you will always have a target on your back. So play like you have a target on the back. Never go into a game underestimating a team. And I think we have 1 through 12, especially like the veterans, especially in the junior class, we're always like, okay, well, we're going to go in this game and we're going to play the game. We don't care what's on your chest. We don't care who you have. We're going to play and we're going to use our pieces, just like you have to play and use your pieces. So that helps a lot.
So now, Anya, you was it soccer player first? I have that right?
I was.
So when did you make the transition to basketball?
I started really playing basketball in 7th grade. That's when I first tried out for the Carolina Flames. I played soccer my 8th grade year. That was the last year I played it. But then after that, I was always told, oh, you're too tall to play soccer. And I'm like, okay. So I was like, I'll try out for basketball. And then from then on, I got a trainer. He's been my trainer since then, and we've just been on the up.
How did soccer, or maybe did soccer, help you with basketball? I would think, at least footwork-wise, it could help you a lot.
I can say it helped me, like, foot-wise. I'm very quick. I mean, people might not say, be like, oh, your posts are very slow. No. Like, I might look like it, but I promise you I can. Like, my feet are very quick, and even my coaches are saying it. Strength conditioning coaches are saying it. And I think that helped a lot because that makes people underestimate me because I am pretty tall, but that first step, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
I'm always impressed when student athletes come in here and they've got something going on other than their sport because the sport is like a full-time thing, as you probably know. You're interested in being a neonatal nurse? I
am.
How do you have time for that, and how did you get interested in that?
So I initially had the idea because I was a NICU baby. I was a premature baby when I was in there for about a month. And I was very, very connected to my nurse, my mom told me, and to this day she still talks to her. So I was like, oh, I would really love to have that connection, and I really love working with children. I found that out over the years. Very good with, babysitting. I've babysitted cousins, and like I've been doing that since I was younger, and it gives me a joy. So I got a kind of interest from that. But I think the coaches really help because they kind of form practice around the time that we have classes. So if I did have to, not have practice at a specific time, she'll be like, okay, well, we can find another time. Maybe it'll be in the morning, maybe it'll be later. So just knowing that the coaches are very flexible with our practice times is kind of helpful.
Have you had a class that took you from like, well, that's kind of a nice idea to, oh yeah, I really would like to do this?
Yes, I was actually in a education class with Kayla last semester, and it was just teaching us about kids with disabilities, and that really, really interested me, especially because we do work with one of Gigi's Playhouse, and Kendall Greer, he's there all the time. He's there all the time, and we just love that kid to death, him, his brother, his mom, his dad, and just knowing that you can make a difference in somebody's life just by being there and just, being around them. Actually, I love that. So that really helped me too.
Gigi's Playhouse, local branch here in Raleigh, works with both children and adults with Down syndrome, and Carolina women's basketball and some other sports around Carolina very closely tied with Gigi's Playhouse, and does a lot of work. All right, Anya, before we let you go, what's important here, right on the cusp, what's important here this last week or so before you guys get going?
I think just locking in. I mean,
we know you're going to do that.
Yeah. We have all the pieces. We just got to believe that we can do it. Not, like I said, don't go into the games thinking that, these teams are just little itty bitty teams and these are the teams that can easily beat you. So I think us knowing that is what could really, make or break us.
Anya lasagna. See, I promised right when the light came on, I got it. Anya, great. Thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate the time, and we really look forward to watching you on the court this year.
Thank you so much.